Hey corset lovers, welcome to your favorite space for corset wit, wisdom, and timeless truths. My name is Cindas. I've been wearing corsets since 2013 and sharing my journey with you along the way. My corset diaries and vlogs are available for exclusive members, so click join or check the description. Here's the story of the world's best, worst, on-again, off-again relationship ever told, from what I can recall. Around 2012-2013, I was at one of the lowest weights I had ever been. And my waist was a natural 30 inches. I'm 5'2", by the way. But I wasn't corset training at the time. I wasn't even aware of corsets or that they even existed. I had just made the commitment to myself to finally lose weight through diet and exercise. And a gym just opened up right across the street from where I had been living, so I had no excuse. I went from around 150 pounds down to about 115, 120, but I still wanted more. More gains, more fat loss, more loss of inches on my waist, more loss of inches all around. And it's okay to want more if it's gonna benefit you. Complacency is the devil, and I implore you to always strive for more, no matter what anyone says. You're too skinny. You're gonna look bulky with too much muscle. Haven't you walked enough today? Don't get me wrong. It's important to be happy with your achievements and the fact that you've reached your goals, but feeling so satisfied with your situation or the goals you've achieved and telling yourself that you don't need to try any harder or create any more goals simply will not do. And so I wanted more, a more smaller waist. So I did my research and I stumbled upon corset training. Seek and ye shall find. When I started waist training in March of 2013, I started with a 30-inch waist and a 24-inch corset. And at first, I was very consistent, wearing my corset to bed and all day after I got home from the gym. And after I closed that corset, I of course wanted more. So I went down to a 22-inch corset. But unfortunately, around 2014, life and family got in the way and I stopped my consistent waist training. I never truly saw any major reduction in inches, but my waist maintained a sweet contour and my tummy no longer had a bulge. I mean, yes, it still had fat, but the fat had flattened due to the molding of the corset. By 2015, 2016, I wasn't wearing them as often, maybe a few times a week, give or take, and I ended up gaining weight to around 145 pounds. Didn't I tell you this was going to be the best on-again, off-again story? But I wasn't gaining any weight on my waist, or if I was, it stayed slightly contoured due to the years of on and off waist training. At least I'd like to think that that was the reason. I mean, what else could it have been? I was eating like shit. So then in 2017, I started my weight loss / wellness journey again, and I took my ass back to the gym and wearing my corset consistently once again. By December of 2018, when I quit my 9-to-5 job to become a full-time content creator, I was wearing corsets intermittently with no real goals, just mainly for content. Basically, I was complacent because I maintained my weight of around 135 pounds and I thought I looked decent from the corset training here and there, aka when it was convenient for me or when I was creating content. 2019 was when I realized I needed to get back in the gym for real this time and back in my corset. And I did. But then we all know 2020 happened. And I started gaining weight again, not wearing my corsets, overindulging and over-consuming because the world was going to end. But by 2021, I snapped the fuck out of it and went back to wearing corsets here and there. And by 2022, I was back to consistent waist training and losing weight. I dropped back down to 120 pounds and achieved a 28 natural waist through weight loss and wearing a corset to maintain my loss of inches. If you need a reminder, in 2013, when I was 120 pounds, I had a 30-inch waist. So yeah, consistent waist training for the win. Quick side note, it is now October of 2025. I am yet again 120 pounds and my natural waist is 25 inches. Yeah. Okay, so back to the story, 2023. You guessed it, I started gaining weight again. I got married and I'd like to call it happy weight, but it was just me not giving a fuck. So I started gaining the weight, but I was consistently wearing my corsets. The scale was slowly creeping up, but like I said, I just didn't care. I gained a lot of weight, and by 2024, I was at my heaviest of almost 170 pounds. I think I was 168.8 before I had my mental breakdown. So though the scale was going up and my arms and hips and legs and boobs and butt were all getting bigger, my waist stayed around 30 to 31 inches the entire time, even at almost 170 pounds. I think the most my waist was at one point was 31 and a half or 32 inches. Just a little reminder, I have Corset diaries that showcase most of this, so join my membership to check them out. So my waist was staying around 30, 31 inches usually, and I will give credit where credit is due. My on again, off again corset training throughout the years, and especially in 2024 when I went up crazy. Because think about it, that's an almost 50-pound weight gain, but only 2 to 3 inches on my waist. Again, corsets. They kept the fat on my tummy flattened and my waist contoured. I mean, there were, of course, weeks at a time where I wasn't waist training. And that's when I started to see my stomach expand and my waistline go from a Coke bottle to a water bottle. That was my sign to put my corset back on, even just for a few hours. In 2024, I made the biggest commitment ever to myself. And in January of 2025, I kept that commitment. I was almost 170 pounds and I had had it up to here with my detrimental eating habits. Instead of continuing to stuff myself into my 24-inch corsets, I took the plunge and I bought a 26-inch corset. And like I said, I documented my waist training here on this channel, and I am proud to say that I have now lost a significant amount of weight. I'm currently wearing a 20-inch corset. It's a black mesh corset from Orchard Corset. And hopefully soon I will be purchasing my 18-inch. And although I am a little salty about my on again, off again journey, I'm happy it happened because I get to tell you about it and hopefully it helps you. It's never too late to start sculpting your body today. Stay in check, stay in control, and for the love of all things holy, stay consistent. I'll see you guys next time. Stay laced, ladies. Bye.